Hola, boa noite, Bunsen here with the Good Morning Portugal Wine Club. This is fantastic. A very special evening tonight with your host, Penny Albertella. Let's bring on the rest of the Wine Ninjas as well. Neil Perkins from the Alentejo, the Austins from Alvázora, and in Coimbra, Rachel and Frank. And over there in Wales in the UK, Douglas. Good evening.
Good evening, all.
Hello, everybody.
All right, folks. How's it going?
We're good.
Very good, very good. We have a wonderful wine this evening. It is the Passagem from the Douro, a Reserva, Grande Reserva, and the maker of the wine joins us on screen as well now. Here she is. Sophia has just joined us. Good evening to you, Sophia, from Quinta de la Rosa.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Sophia.
Great to meet you and great to have you here with us.
Not at all. Well, I'm actually in England, strangely enough. I'm stuck in near Oxfordshire, where I spend half my life. Can't get to Portugal.
No, well, sorry to hear that. I think maybe an excellent introduction to your beautiful wine and I think your beautiful lifestyle might be to play the film. Is that okay with you if we do that now?
Yeah, do that. Absolutely. And I'll come afterwards.
Superb. Okay, let me roll that. And actually, I'll put it on the screen in the biggest format I can find. So let's roll that for you now.
We are producers of top quality port and wine from the Douro Valley, right next to Pinhão.
La Rosa has been in our family for generations. My ancestor, Dietrich Feuherd, originally came from Hamburg in 1815. He started a shipping company called Feuherd's, buying and selling port.
Quinta de la Rosa was given to my grandmother Claire as a christening over 100 years ago. What a christening present.
Most people are lucky to have a pipe of port in those days. Unfortunately, Albert, who built Val do Inferno vineyard with those amazing terraced walls, fell into difficulties in the 1930s. So he was forced to sell the shipping company to Barros. From the 1930s, he sold grapes to Crofts and to Sandeman, and effectively we were fruit farmers. It was only in 1988 that we started making our own port under our own label. My father, Tim, and I set up on our own thanks to changes in the port wine regulations. It meant that we could set up as a small producer.
Grapes. It was an overnight success, and now 2/3 of our production is wine rather than port.
Both are very important, though. Port, after all, is at the heart of the Douro Valley.
I'm making wines at La Rosa since 2002, and I'm very lucky to work here because Quinta de la Rosa is a beautiful property. It's in the heart of Douro, in Pinhão, and we have vineyards near the river and also in altitude in the mountains, north-facing, south-facing. So we only have top quality grapes, but with very different character, with ones more freshness, others with more concentration. Here at La Rosa, we make all the styles of port: white, tawnies, rubies, 10-year-old, 20-year-old, finest reserve, LBV, vintage, all the styles. And the same philosophy that you use in wines, we use the same in ports. We try to make port wines with lots of character, but more elegant. We have a slightly drier style because we want really the freshness to come out in the wines. And in the tawnies, because we age the wines in Douro, they tend to be a little more strong, more concentrated than the other tawnies that are aged in Gaia with more humidity and with less evaporation.
La Rosa is built on a steep hill, and we're lucky we can use gravity where possible, so the grapes aren't damaged too much by pump movement. We control everything from the vineyards to bottling the final product. We also practice sustainable agriculture. We try to enable the grapes to express themselves in the bottle. The La Rosa Douro Red was the first Portuguese wine to be chosen for the Harrods Christmas Pampers. We're very lucky with our location, sitting right on the banks of the River Douro. We get the cooler morning sun. We are also easily accessible, only being 2 kilometres from Pinhão, which makes La Rosa an ideal place to visit. We welcome guests and have many guest rooms, as well as 2 houses we rent out situated on the middle of our vineyards. We also offer daily tours and tastings.
Beautiful.
So have any of you been to the Douro?
I haven't. Have any of us been to the Douro from this gang?
Yeah.
Because it's quite because most of you are based in the Algarve, are you?
No, we're all over Portugal. We're not those sorts of expats. We're all,
any kind of expat. I like the Algarve.
I'm only kidding, but we're all over Portugal. We're all
Right.
over, but I mean, I think top of all our lists is to go to the Douro. I mean, that last shot there of the slopes above, on the river there, just incredible. It's so beautiful.
No, it is very, very beautiful. But the wine you're tasting is actually not from La Rosa. So we bought another vineyard, which is further up the river near Spain, opposite quite a famous property called Valmião. And that's where the wine that Penny, hello Penny, picked up from Mitch. And we do that wine is also it's labelled under several different labels, so it's rather confusing. So you'll probably be drinking it with different labels, but it's actually called Passagem. But we labelled some up, especially for Mark Hicks and Mitch Tonks, under the tonics label, which we have for them specially, and we called it Grand Cru on a kind of play of Grand Cru. And because they're great sailors, so Penny will have a picture of a sailing boat on it. So that's
amazing.
So it's a slightly different bottle, but it's a little bit confusing. But the wine is exactly the same, and the vineyard was bought by my father in 2005. So. Our main property is Quinta de la Rosa, and those wines and ports are quite well known now in Portugal. But the Passagem Grand Cru label isn't quite so well known. So it was good that Penny picked it up, because I think it's an extraordinarily good wine that we only make 20,000 bottles a year. So that's globally, and so it's quite unusual for me to do a presentation, very quick presentation on the wine itself.
Well, it's so kind of you to drop in. I know you can't stay with us for very long, but
I'm afraid, because I'm kind of in the middle of doing stuff here with the family. So
completely understandable. So thank you so much for being here and giving us that introduction. Really appreciate it.
Not at all. Well, if there are any questions, then either email me or both Penny and Carl have got my connection, and I hope you enjoy the glass of wine. And what a great idea to have a group of friends connected through wine. I think that's fantastic. So, and I quite like this. It's much better than Zoom. It's a good setup.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sophia. Really appreciate it. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Sophia.
When you can.
Say hello to you as well.
Thank you. Will do. Thanks very much, Penny. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Wow, how about that? Yes, the winemaker. That's a first, Penny. Thank you so much for organising that. Quinta de la Rosa's very own Sophia there. A lovely movie as well that we showed. And now we can get on with the business of drinking it. Because actually it would be quite awkward, wouldn't it, to be tasting in front of the producer? Possibly. Yeah, that's right. And I'm sure that's not going to be the case with this one, but it could be potentially awkward. But how fantastic that she managed to squeeze us in to her schedule. I might have to just go behind the scenes and actually, no, I don't think I can share links on Facebook at the moment. But we're not we're not going out on the Facebook group, unfortunately. We are going out on Expats Portugal, and we're going out on YouTube. So thank you to those folks who've said hello. Let's say hello to them now before we get tasting. That's another story. La bonne nuit. After the last hour and a half, Carl has certainly earned his wine. Thank you very much, Eric. Anna's here. Anna still managed to find us. That's great. Hi, everyone. And she visited Quinta de la Rosa in November. What, in 2 months you were there? Liked it and stayed. That's great. Paul Williams, Boa Noite, Alegria from Lita and I, from the Algarve. Not sure if she liked my joke there. We have an Aljo reservation, which has the same grapes as Passagem plus a small percent of the Tinta Barocca. Very good, Paul. Nice attention to detail. Andy the Doc Thompson, Ciala Bonite. From Andy and Leona in Leiria. Unfortunately, drinking a competitor as we couldn't find yours in the supermarket with the Garrafaria closed and ran out of options. We'll catch up when we can do. I think it's going to be very special tonight. Drove through the Upper Douro Valley on the way home last week. That's amazing. I bet that was beautiful in your BMW Countryman driving through there. Boa noite, Alegria from Lita myself. The Douro as well. Okay, we got that. That's fantastic, Paul. Really appreciate it. The Aljo Reserva 2017, same grapes, and the Tinta Barocca. Joel is here. Fantastic. Good evening to you, Joel. What you on? The Rusty Water tonight? And Rizal is here. It wasn't that a great video, Rizal. So lovely to have your company. Canadians in the house this evening. So over to you, Penny. Do you want to lead?
Oh, God. Okay. Right, well, basically, lift your glasses. Do you want to know a little bit of the background about how I came across it? I know you're probably desperate to try it, but
I'd love to hear that story. How did you find this needle in this beautiful haystack?
Okay, well, Mitch Tonks, as we were talking about, is he's a relatively well-known chef, celebrity chef in the UK, and he has he mainly a fish restaurant. He obviously cooks other things, but it's mainly fish. And he has a wonderful restaurant in Dartmouth, his sort of flagship restaurant called the Seahorse. We go there about once every 5 years when we've saved up enough money to go. So it's quite an expensive restaurant, but worth it. The food is absolutely sublime. And of course, you know, we catch fish here. So fish is always completely fresh. It's gorgeous, fresh off the market that morning. And I bought this for Paul for Christmas because I thought he could cook me some of their wonderful recipes. And in it, Mitch was talking about the tonics label and how he went to the Douro amongst lots of other places he goes to, and they were talking about mixing a wine for the restaurant itself. And they ended up with Sophia talking about the wines they were making. And so, yes, they decided to put it under. So he was with his friend called Mark Hicks, and he's Mitch Tonks, hence the tonics label. It's an amalgamation of both their surnames.
Let me zoom in on you there so we can get a really good look at that.
So we've got the yacht on. Whoops, I can always go the wrong way. So we've got the yacht on there and the tonics label. And this one's actually a 2014. Mitch actually got it out of his own cellar for me earlier this week because I couldn't get one over from Portugal because of Brexit and all that rubbish. And he asked his friend Tracy Emin to design the label. So Tracy Emin actually designed that label, which is, of course, what Sophia was saying, that it can get a bit confusing. We've got Quinta de la Rosa, we've got the other vineyard, whose name I've forgotten already, where they produce this particular wine. So
it's
it can get
Bandeiras, I think, isn't it?
Sorry?
Crossing Spain, yeah.
Bandeiras.
That's it, yes, that's the one. That's the one. So, has everybody been able to let theirs breathe a little bit?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've got a Douro, but it's not the same as you guys. It's that Entre Quintas one I had last week. Remember?
Yeah.
He told me. So, but it's a Douro.
Yep.
It's as close as we can get in Wales.
So you can't ask for more than that at the moment. So we go.
Good effort, Doug.
What do you think?
We should say, shouldn't we? Mr. Perkins is with us tonight.
Yes.
Back from semi-retirement. Here he is.
Well, it's in honor of this wine and Penny, because I'm not really drinking or eating much at the moment. But
yeah, whatever.
Can you see I've lost weight? Do I look slimmer?
You do. I was going to say, mate, racing snake of a fella.
Well, enjoy, everybody. Tell me what you think.
Oh,
it's got amazing colour. It's almost got purple. It's almost purpley.
Yeah. It's really, really dark, isn't it?
Super ink, really opaque, isn't it? Quality.
Wow, this one's got tight legs.
Are you guys drinking the same wine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine's
Yeah.
it's just a different year, but it's the same wine. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's almost like a Spanish one.
It is very dry, isn't it? It's lovely.
Did I hear you right, Frank? Did I hear that right? It's beautiful. It's almost like a Spanish wine. That's a stackable offence. That's a stackable offence.
Well, funny enough, the Tinta Rorés grape that is in this is exactly the same as the Tempranillo grape, which you get in a lot of Spanish wine.
Yeah.
There you go. Frank Scooter didn't let him down there.
Thanks, Carl. I thought I was on mute for a second.
No, sorry, mate. Yeah.
Mine's Tinta Rorés as well. The usual suspects, in fact. Yeah.
It's lovely.
That's really good. Did anybody open it and have a taste out of the box?
I
As
did.
we opened it,
Yeah.
hasn't it changed? Hasn't it opened up a lot?
It was really quite spicy and quite out to take the alcohol, the fumes, spices. It was really quite. It was completely different.
What's the volume of that? Is that around about 14%?
Exactly. Spot on, Doug.
Yeah. Mine's
14%.
14% as well. So at least we've got the same strength of wine. So
That's got a very long taste.
Yeah, it's lovely.
We're back in the realms of complexity, aren't we? There, thanks to you, Penny. And yeah, he's hanging on the glass there.
It's nice. I like
I'm
it.
getting a lot of berries in mine.
Yes.
Nobody's mentioned the nose. There's a lot going on there in the nose. It's one of the most fragrant wines I think we've had.
True.
Yeah. I can't smell it.
Look at that cork.
Sensational.
Beautiful.
That is
Yeah.
really dark. Isn't it?
Yours is darker, but then yours is 3 years older than the
3
bottle.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess
Mine's
mine is
got-
now, if I can work it out, older.
You've got a very purple end there, Doug.
it's a really full-bodied red wine, same as yours. It's full of berries and tad of licorice, a little bit of pipe tobacco. Would you believe that?
Yep.
Bit of pipe tobacco and a hint of chocolate in there. It's not. It's a really. I mean, I struggle to find really good Portuguese wines in our supermarket, but this one is one I'd go for again. This is lovely.
Yeah, the starting point of the Douro is really helpful, isn't it?
And the Douro is one of my favourite places to go. It's a beautiful part of Portugal, and it's a place I return to time after time. So,
And have you driven along that really famous road, Doug?
yeah, it's one of the top driving roads, not only in Portugal but the world, I believe. Yes, it's a beautiful road.
To doing this steam train from Porto during the summer.
Yep.
Now that reminds me of Dartmouth, Penny, with a steam train going along the side of the water.
And that is where the seahorse is, of course, in Dartmouth.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is. Yeah.
Some lovely parallels there. Anna saying, unfortunately, I only visited for the day just over a year ago. Okay, gotcha. So has Sophia got some connection to Sweden? Excuse me, you'd think so, wouldn't you? And I was quite surprised. I thought she was going to be Swedish. And then she was very British, wasn't she, in her talk with us there, going by the name. Yeah, I think there must be some. There's a lovely mix going on there, isn't there? Portugal, Sweden, and Britain. I've been, Tina, good evening to you, Tina. I've been in Portugal for close to 6 weeks. What a time to arrive. A new wine every day. It's been the best thing in lockdown, other than the stunning hikes of the Algarve cliff. It's not a bad start, is it? There are worse lockdowns to be having. A different wine every day and stunning hikes of the Algarve. Fantastic. Welcome to the club here, Tina. So this is like conspicuous by its by the silence here, right? There's a sense of there's a sense of enjoyment, a palpable sense of enjoyment here in the club tonight.
Basically, if the food's good, it's a silent restaurant.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I would put mine with, it would have to be a really heavy, meaty fish, I think. something like turbot maybe, but it's probably better suited for things like duck, I would have thought. What about yours?
Yeah, this needs, again, I need a steak, guys.
You say that with Coca-Cola, though, Doug.
I'm thinking duck, maybe duck with this would be nice.
What immediately came to
More
mind?
wine.
Mulled wine, you say?
No, more wine. It's
More
just
wine.
another glass.
Give me more. I'm thinking liver and bacon. Obviously done in a really kind of high-end way. Some good bacon, some real nice livery flavour on some mash, maybe some green beans, and some serious gravy. And this would be awesome.
Now you're talking, Carl.
Well, I tell you what, guys. I mean, I know the dream is for everybody to get together in Portugal. But if ever you guys can come over to Dartmouth and come to the Seahorse, the food is literally sublime. It is totally sublime.
Tofu.
A few bottles of tonics, and we'd be happy.
I've just got off Andy the dog. I thought he was such a nice fellow.
He's ruined our evening, hasn't he?
He's ruined my evening completely.
Go-handed.
Oh, dear.
A nice one, Doc. Joel's complaining about the echo. We can put up with that. We care about very little now after a glass of this. This is special. Penny, thank you so much.
Also, this is 18 months in oak as well. It's got everything I love about wine, Penny. It's absolutely glorious. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Very nice.
It's full of fruit. It's got plenty of tannins in there. This will lay down and keep for a long time. Just as they get better, it's a wonderful wine. Absolutely glorious. Love it.
Oh,
You know it's good when Neil wants to lay it.
It'd be one of those that'd be difficult to lay down because it's tasting so good now already. And to think it could only get better, but it would be really difficult. It's nice to lay a wine down when you tasted it. I mean, it's nice, but you know it's going to improve. But when you've tasted one, and it's still a young wine, really, and it still tastes as good as it does now, it'd be difficult because I just want to keep going and opening it.
So I actually got 2 bottles from Mitch because I thought I might as well get 2. So be worth laying the other one down, Neil, you reckon?
That's 14 as well, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 was a really good year. I've got some Grande 2014, and it is an amazing wine as well. And it was a really good year, and that is drinking now very well. Often they'll say how long they'll recommend to lay it down: 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. But I would say it's not going to get any worse. It was probably still get better. It may be ready to drink now. I don't know if it says anything on it about that. Some wines will say, you can leave it will lay for 6 years or 8 years or 10 years or whatever. But it's got the alcohol content and it's definitely got the tannins in it for it to lay down and keep.
Certainly for next Christmas, anyway.
What were the grapes in the 14? Penny, just out of interest.
I'm finding it hard to read.
It was a Touriga Nacional for certain. Did you say it was?
Yeah, it's Touriga Nacional, Touriga Franca, and the one that ends in road.
Okay, so that's got some Roras in it then. Okay, so this one hasn't got Roras, the Tinta Roras. The 17 has actually got the Sousa grape, which is a slightly different grape.
And what's
But the 2 main
ones
ones are the same.
Why is
between the 2 grapes that are different?
Why is the print on a wine bottle made for the eyesight of a 5-year-old? When obviously
this one doesn't actually. This one doesn't even tell you what grapes in it on the bottle on the label. You have to research it. You have to look into it. The raw is the Tempranillo, which is basically the Tempranillo grape. Which when you said it before, but this hasn't got that. This has got only a small percent, 5% or 7% of a Sousa grape, which is grown and used in the Douro, used in port quite a lot as well, and it's also known as Vinho if you're coming slightly down further south, but it's the same grape. So funny enough, between 14 and 17, they've chosen a very, very, very slightly different blend. But I don't know whether there'd be a difference in the flavour or not.
Apparently, when they were having a dinner, I think they had roast kid in an outdoor oven or something when they were
children. I couldn't even hold one.
No, I know. I don't know whose kid it was. But anyway, when they were talking about the label, they were drinking their white port with tonic water, which is now apparently called a Sophia Sling.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
This wine, when you actually pour it in the light, it comes out purple. It is amazing colour.
It is really dark, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes,
beautiful. It's purple.
Yeah, really, really dark.
Definitely purple.
When
you pour it,
it owes a lot.
Have you finished that already, Linda? Have you finished that already?
The first one went like a fairy tale of a trap.
So we're going to stop asking you how many glasses you've had. We're going to start saying how many decanters have you had.
Decanter medal. But the other pairing suggestion from the doc is seitan, to which I have to say, get thee back, seitan. That is a very strange protein indeed, and it does cause a lot of wind in my experience. I don't know how you get on with that, the doc, but any other pairing suggestions that are coming up from the group here?
I think that I would. This is very versatile. You can serve it with dinner, or you could also serve it with a cocktail party and like a strong cheese. I think that this asks for a strong cheese
with some grilled Spanish chorizo.
Yeah, I agree. I think even strangely enough, even towards the end of the meal when you're getting on the cheese course, a wine like because you're almost starting to get into the realms of a port wine. It's so full-bodied and smooth. So to me, I would be quite happy to be having some Gorgonzola or some strong blue or something with it, without a doubt.
Yeah, nice.
This is such a similar wine that I've got here. The way you're describing it, the colour and the full-bodied, and the fact that it's almost bordering on the sweetness of a port wine. This is obviously a really similar blend that I've got here.
I've got a question for you guys. I've seen that in Douro wine, because I think in the past 3 or 4 weeks we've done a few Douro. I did a Douro wine, and it was almost the same blend of Touriga Nacional, Touriga Franca, and Tinto Roriz. Is this do they use any other blend, or is this usual with them? They just one more than the other as far as the blend is concerned to make the wine a bit different? How does it work?
I think the wine is grown very heavily in the Douro, in that area. The Touriga Nacional is grown hugely all over the country. Big in the Alentejo and in Douro, and Tinta, the Franca, the Roriz, they're all big, heavy red wine grapes. The Syrah as well, the Shiraz, which tends to go in for the spicy pepperiness. Unless you're going to have a whole bottle of Shiraz, it's too spicy for me as a single grape wine personally. But there, the Aragonese as well is another, and the Alicante Boucher, another big red grape that is used in blends. And the wine blenders there's more than just 3 franc, but what you said is quite right. They are very, very popular grapes, main grapes to use. A lot of them because of their strength, some of them because of their high alcohol, which will obviously produce a wine which can be laid down and will give longevity. But those 3 grapes there are extremely popular, as well as some of the others I just mentioned.
For some reason,
the winemaker, that's where they have the fun, is by blending these grapes together in different volumes to get the desired taste that they want.
I don't know, for some reason, since she mentioned Tempranillo, I was like, because they're like near, this one is near the Spanish border. I kind of thought that there's the blend of Tempranillo is a bit heavier in here. I don't know why. As soon as I drank it, I was like, okay, there's more of the Spanish blend in there.
But the rule is it's exactly the same grape. It's just called something different. It's just called Tempranillo in Spain. That's all. It's basically it's the same vine producing the same grape.
Mm-hmm. All the same, it's a very, very good wine. It's a solid wine.
It's a very good wine.
Look at that.
Give that to anybody.
The railway runs past the vineyard there.
That's right.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Look at that. That terrain is extraordinary, isn't it? And then we've got this incredible dancing. Look, this is the look. What happened there? There's a dance that goes with the grape treading.
I can see Carl in there.
Should we
Actually,
I
Cole,
can see myself in there.
if you go back to that picture of them all in the vat, that looks like a load of paratroopers having a dance in a wine cellar.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's what when they say they're on manoeuvres in Europe, that's what they're doing.
They just need a van load of female French police officers to turn up now.
So Penny, I'm going to be rude, but I want to know, given the quality of the wine, what region and price was the wine?
Do you know, I probably should have checked because I actually can't remember. That's terrible, isn't it?
Be nice to know.
Oh, come see
It's a very good quality wine.
Yeah.
Without doubt.
I think it came in with postage for 4 bottles. It came in at around about 98 euro, I think, something like that.
So in the 20 euro price bracket, which I would be happy to pay. It's really good quality wine. It's lovely.
That's postage to 4 different.
Sorry, I think I saw it because I was just doing a bit of research on it. It's about 16.95 euros. So, if that's any help.
That's
well,
I have a terrible memory.
It's in the high end of our experiences, and I tell you, I'm feeling mellow as anything.
I would have said this is £20 euros a bottle, easy. I wouldn't. But bear in mind, some wines that we've had that have been priced at $18.99, okay, and they're on special, and we paid €6 or €7 for them, and they've been fine. They've been nice. But I think this is just it's that step up.
It's a class wine.
Mine
isn't it?
came in at £16, but of course I'm in England or Wales, so I have to pay a bit more. So probably where you guys live is at what, be 11 or 12 maybe.
I've not seen it. I'm not seen it sale personally, so I would have to look. I'd have to look on Wine National or something to find it, but I've never seen it on sale.
Look at that, Neil.
Where they tend to sell this? Is it just in certain bodegas or certain wine specialist wine shops, or?
I've seen
the
it
doc has found it
through some of the exporters. The Vinhar, I think it is in Portugal, and there's a couple of Portuguese wine exporters in Portugal. That's where I've seen it. I bought it directly from Quinta de la Rosa, but
okay. I'm just looking.
You can see there.
I got Mitch to go down and crawl down
Saw
his
it for
cellar for this
14.
one, so.
That's amazing, Penny. That's level of service. Doc says 14 enough, and you get free carriage on that. Andy, can you tell us where you saw that? That'd be amazing. Talking of grape combinations, this is what we haven't seen very often. Unfortunately, I didn't find the correct one, but I found a forgotten bottle of Quinta Nova Colheita 2009 in the cellar, and it turned out to be still really good. Torrigan, Frank, Tintourige, and Picant. Do we know of the Red Dog? Have we had that before in any of our tastings? Quinta Cal.
I've seen the grape before, but I don't recall us ever drinking wine with it in.
Yeah. Tell us more, Anna. Tell us more.
Carl, for some
So-
reason you have an echo.
Yeah, I think I'm coming back through Mr. Perkins' microphone. We've had this challenge before, haven't we? But
Is that better?
I don't think you will. Let me just mute you up for a minute. Does that any better like that? Is that stopped echoing? Yeah, I think we go through Mr. Perkins' laptop and back out again. But it's not. I couldn't care less, frankly, at the moment. I couldn't care less.
You wouldn't be going there.
All right, fair. No, but this is the most remarkable thing. This is having a sort of elevated effect on me. Like, I'm not somebody who's really indulged a lot in the wacky backy, but I've got to say, it feels like it must be that mellowness that comes from the old devil's lettuce that I'm experiencing tonight. If I can make that comparison.
It is a very mellow wine that does produce a very mellow effect. Definitely.
Yes, indeed. That's what I was trying to say.
I just wish I was in the Seahorse, eating some of the food as well, and drinking this with you guys at the Seahorse.
Yeah.
Well, what did you say before, Carl? I missed you something like the devil's button or something. What was it?
Devil's lettuce, mate. I was making a comparison between the herb, between the chronic and the herb, and this wine.
It seems to be a thing in the West Country to have to save up to go and eat in the restaurants. It's like Rick Stein's place in Padstow.
Yeah.
Well, to be
If you
fair,
can get
Mitch
in
does
at
have
all.
he has a small chain of restaurants called Rockfish, and you can easily afford to eat at Rockfish, and it's good fish. It's great. The Seahorse is just his flagship, and I have to say the food is exceptional. He has a coal wood oven thing that they cook in the kitchen, and it's all open, and the food is exceptional food.
Mm-hmm.
It seriously is. So.
Rockfish is amazing as well, though, isn't it, Penny?
Yeah,
It's like it's basically a fish and chip restaurant, but the scallops, just the attention to detail. It just takes it to. Actually, what it reminds me of is how the Aussies do fish and chips, because in Australia, fish and chips is amazing, and rockfish is a lot like my memory of fish and chips in Australia. But you mentioned Mark. Yeah, absolutely, it's incredible. And Mark Hicks, I was trying to remember because you mentioned Mitch Tonks, and I thought I'd met him, and I did outside Mark Hicks' restaurant in Soho, because I was treated. I didn't have to save it. I was treated to a meal at Mark Hicks' restaurant, I think, in Soho, where we had the most amazing meal of lobster, half a lobster with chips, or frite, I guess it would have been called on the menu, and it was just beautiful, and a fantastic white wine, a really memorable evening, and I can understand why those two are just such brilliant, seafood ambassadors, advocates, legends, really, in British cooking. Incredible. Absolutely. So thank you for taking us there tonight to the company of Sophia, Mark Hicks, Mitch Tonks, Tracy Emin. It's been incredible.
Can I ask a question, Carl? Just one, because my ignorance, because like living in most in the centre of Britain, there's not much sea around there. What fish can you actually or recommend you to drink with red wine? Because you always think white wine with fish, don't you? So is there any sort of fish that you would have with red wine? Because I'm totally ignorant of that. Anybody know?
Oh, nice. A big fresh tuna steak.
Tuna, yeah.
Yes. Good shout.
Turbot, I think, is good with red as well.
I would say I'd probably be a turbot, if a good meaty turbot, yeah.
Yeah.
I like turbot.
Maybe cod roe. If somebody did a cod roe, in that sort of really, we're getting to liver again, aren't we? If you had a cod roe in butter, you'd have an amazing accompaniment there, I think, with some fried roe.
You just reminded me of something, and I meant to tell Penny this. I read a book ages and ages and ages ago, and it was about a chef's journey through Italy, and I think it was called The Food of Love. But he get away from the normal pasta and the pizza stuff, and it goes into rural Italy, where they cook with a lot of offal, kidneys, liver, that sort of stuff. And his words was that most people miss this type of cooking, the rustic cooking, which is the best in Italy. It's the flavour of Italy, which most people don't see. And I'm thinking something like that would go lovely with this, wouldn't it? Really, that's where my mind is on this one. If you ever see, it's called The Food of Love. And I can't remember the author. If I can remember what it is, I'll post it up so you can recommended reading.
Great. You take me back to a lovely dish my mother used to make with kidneys. Oh, it's gorgeous. Lemon and
kidneys, yes.
Garlic and delicious.
I've often drank red wine with
those the kidneys like sautéed with onions. They would really go well with it.
Yes, well said.
Liver and kidneys.
Yeah. The offal.
I've often had red
business.
wine with cataplana or even a really nice dorado. I've often had red wine with those. I mean, it's a selection of fish in the cataplana anyway. And it all depends what they've got on the day, doesn't it? But I don't think it matters with a stew like that what the wine is, because it's quite rich and a wholesome flavour in itself, isn't it?
Yes,
I was going to see if I could find one of their. Oh, there we go. Warm pig's head with peppers.
What?
One of the recipes.
Oh yeah.
There's quite a bit of offal and bits and bobs that you probably wouldn't normally think about.
Yeah.
Cheeks and
Don't
things.
think
yeah.
so.
But
They have to boil the pig's head for hours before it's tender enough to.
It's better than cold pig's head, I guess.
Yes. Very nice warm up.
Can you get this, or is it
Yeah.
is it back to front?
No, go on. Let's just have a look. Fried carp brains. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is probably very upsetting for our vegetarian viewers.
I don't think I'll be going to that restaurant.
You eat.
Dr. Lecter's cookbook.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, stay where you are, Penny. What's this? Chicken livers over a fire with sage and aged vinegar. Get in. Yes. I've got some wine that would aged vinegar, of course. That's always useful. So, yeah, Antti Seppänen joins us as we're talking about boiled offal. A very nice warm atmosphere here, I see. We had -30. Wow, last night. I want to be in Portugal in your company. We want you here, Antti. Amazing. That's cold. That is cold, isn't it? I imagine your red wine would just hang in the glass at that sort of temperature. Paul says cod roe dusted with flour and fried in a salty butter goes with anything. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is another thing that we could feel sorry for the millennials and hipsters for. That I don't think they know about offal, do they? When they do know about it, it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be next to the avocado. But these offal and roe things are amazing. I mean, it's cheap food as well, isn't it? Cheap, nutritious food, until the hipsters do get older. Leona wants to know where she can get proper fish and chips in Portugal, central Portugal. There's the green fish. Is it called in Coimbra? Have you guys been there to the fish and chip shop in Coimbra?
No.
Okay,
Apparently it's a very good place, Carl. You're right. Apparently, I've heard a lot of people go there.
Is that a joke? A good place? Nice one, Frank.
Albufeira, Praia de Luz, they've all got their. I've even seen jelly deals in Praia de Luz.
Really?
I bet.
Yeah.
What? Some geezers down there in Praia de Luz. Give us some of them jelly deals, son, will you, over here?
Jelly deals, mate, pie and mash, you know what I mean?
Bit of pepper on them. Bit of pepper, bit of bread. Nice.
Pepper.
Yeah. The old man would have loved it. No swearing in front of me. Yeah. Seems this canine grape variety is also in Sophia's wine. Quinta de la Rosa Reserva Douro. 2017 grape variety. Yeah, it's in there. Tinta Count is in there as well. Well, this is forensic stuff. Haven't we changed? Wine Club from the early days into these higher levels of sophistication? Thanks to Penny tonight.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes, and a special thanks to Penny for what she did there. That was a beautiful gesture. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah. It was amazing, wasn't it? I loved that film. I just want to be there, basically.
Well, you're all very welcome, and sorry you joined too late there to get your bottle of wine, Doug. But anyway, it's my New Year's gift to you all.
Beautiful. Thank you,
was
Penny.
a good one. It was a
Thank
good
you.
one.
And actually, thank you for letting me join the group, because it's one of the things that kept me sane during lockdown. So
I never thought anyone would say that about this group, honestly. But there you go. There you go. He's not letting it lie. Smoked tofu, then Satan, and now veggie haggis.
What is with Doc? Well, just when I was getting to like him.
Thumbs up from Auntie. Oh, I think he's a friend of Anna's. Just had a message from a friend in Finland too. Only -27. What happens? I've got a personal question to ask about that, because I've heard these stories. If you have a wee outside, it can actually freeze and you have to snap it off. Is that true? Or is that just an old white? Oh, Canadians, you'd know about that, right?
No, it's just that when it falls, it's like an ice cube.
So you guys have obviously got experience of making yellow snow.
It's minus 27 doesn't do it. It's when you go towards minus 45 Canadian weather.
I'll vouch for that. We sold our boat last year. It was a Canadian couple that brought it, and I keep in touch with them quite regularly, follow where they're sailing, similar places as we did. And he just sent me. I said he asked me how things here, and I said not that good at the moment. It's raining and it's been really cold. It's got down to -1. And he laughed and sent me back a clip. He said, a friend just sent me this clip of the weather back home in Canada, -51. And it was the actual weather forecast page, -51.
Whereabouts are you, Phil?
Yes, that's so.
We have experienced it.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Portugal, Doug. But the couple of them I boat to, they're from Canada. They're in the Caribbean at the moment. But it was his friend of his sent him a weather clip of where the temperature was like where he was at home. And he forwarded it to me. He was chuckling that I was complaining because it was -1 here.
Can I show you a picture of a friend of mine in Connecticut at the moment?
Please do.
That's how to deal with it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how to
We
deal with it. Okay, but yeah, we should see more of that
we like
over
that.
here.
Can you send
This
it?
lady, can you believe it? Sunny is 70 in June.
Good Lord.
Really?
That's a nice phone you've got.
You want to look at it a bit closer, Frank?
Yeah, can you send that?
Can I look at the screen again? How big is that screen?
One more time. One more.
Is there a crack on that screen?
Oh, Neil.
There's the crack on the screen.
That's Sunny, one beautiful lady. That's how
Yeah,
it's
indeed.
cold.
Yeah, the
Which
evidence
lady?
is there.
Where? I didn't see anything.
Very well played, Frank. Very well played, sir. Look at this. Andy's accusing
Frank at the elbow. Did you see that?
What I'd like to mention is it's so nice. It's so nice to see Frank and Rachel without big puffer jackets and scarves and jumpers and 17 layers of clothes on.
They've changed, haven't they?
Have you got rid of the slippers as well?
Believe me, it feels nicer on this side.
We've been
Well, look
watching
at
them
this.
thaw out over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
The doc has found this for 11.80 now online. So I didn't ignore you. I didn't see that. Sorry, Andy. No, I do my best not to ignore anyone, as you know here. But 11.80 for this is great, isn't it? I think Mr. Perkins will want to make contact with you and bulk buy that bad boy to lay down in his extensive cellar. Auntie may or may not answer the question of snapping your wee-wee off. Believe it or not, I keep my thermometer in the shade on the balcony. It was 23 degrees today down there in the Algarve. How fantastic is that, Paul? That's what you moved here for, mate, I'm sure. Okay, you win. I don't think Finland goes down to -51. Canadians are a tough bunch, aren't you?
Yeah.
But that said, they're all moving to Portugal. That said,
That's it.
But we're not tough indoors though.
no, you understand that it was a struggle for you. That culture shock was a real problem.
Yeah. No, yeah. It was no good. Good thing it got solved quickly.
But we've had the best one was in Britain. I think parts of Britain were -12 or something last week, and this week they've been +13 and 14. So that's a kind of 25-degree difference in temperature in a week.
I know.
Yeah.
Amazing. What's going on, eh?
Yeah.
It reflects the politics. Right. So should we do a bit of scoring?
Definitely.
All right. We'll go to you last, Penny. It's your kind of honour to go last. Let's start with Mr. Perkins in the Alantasia, who's joined us especially for this one.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 straight away without thinking. It's the highest I've given the wine yet. So it's matching as high as anything I've given an Alantasia wine.
Wow,
So
that's an honour.
good.
It is.
Where is your Alantasia passport? I want to see it now.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, anything else you want to say?
No, I it's everything I like in a wine, pretty much. So it's a great wine for me. I could drink that virtually any time, and I will be looking to get some of those to put it in the collection for certain.
Tremendous. Great stuff. Cheers, Neil. To Alvazra now. Jerry and Linda. How many glasses, Linda?
2 large ones. I really like this wine. When I first tried it, I wasn't too sure because it was quite spicy and peppery, but that's sort of like smoothed out and it's really nice, and I don't get the spiciness and there's no pepperiness left. I'm going to give it 4.7.
Get in.
Because I really like the taste.
Great.
From me, Duros are not my natural territory. You should know that by now.
Indeed.
But you mark a wine on its, the whole deal, don't you? And this has got a tremendous amount of flavour, and it's got a good nose, it's got elegance, it's got the lot. And I've got to go for a 4.8 because that is just a class wine.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Nice. Great stuff from Alvazra there. Thank you, the Austins. To Coimbra.
So this wine is really, really, I love it. I don't have much commentary today. It's 4.75.
4.75. Perfect. Thank you, Rachel.
4.75 here as well.
4.75. Any more on the culinary connection? Sorry, Rachel.
And thank you so much, Penny.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yes, man, this is good. Like every time I pour this wine, you should see Rachel. She's wondering if I'm pouring more for myself.
Yes.
She's like, keeping an eye. Why don't you go over there, man?
No.
Just pouring some wine for me.
No. And
Wine envy.
Yeah.
Save it so that we have another glass.
What a lovely experience. Lovely experience. Frank, as my buddy now on a Monday, talking about Portuguese food, have you got any more sort of food connections to make with this wine?
To me, well, the other one that I was thinking is I would love to have a chanfana with this. I'll talk about it on Monday.
Oh, yes.
A chanfana with this would be beautiful.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Very good. Excellent. Doug, and I know you haven't got this particular one, but it's a good idea for you to rate the one you do have. Show us the bottle again, if you will.
Sure will. It's this one. Let's have a look and get it.
Entre Quintas. Okay, Between the Farms. Yep.
Yeah, Between the Farms, the Douro. It's pretty much the same great blends as what you guys are drinking. And basically, I think it's a very similar wine. But obviously, I don't think it's as good as the one you've got. But I can certainly, I can give it a good 4.2. I mean, I'm very impressed with this. It's a beautiful, easy drinking wine, full-bodied, loads of beautiful ripe fruit, and it's everything going for it. 4.2, I reckon, for mine.
Fantastic. Thanks, Doug. Over there in Wales tonight. Joel signing off. See you all tomorrow in the man cave. It's a real guessing game, isn't it, to know what sort of mood Joel might be in, if he's going to be tearing it up or if he's going to be sitting back and taking it easy. We'll find out tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. I think he's going to be there because it got very interesting. Was it Melissa who turned up last week? Some people were saying it's like a guy sat in his mum's basement. I don't think that's true. I think it was a beautiful woman who was tuned in and was genuinely talking to us guys and hanging out and was interested in being shown around Portugal when she arrives here. So, Joel, we'll see you tomorrow night and see how many other ladies are on your case again tomorrow evening. For me, this has been such a lovely experience, Penny. And this is what I'm realising. And I think you made a mention of this earlier on. It's all about the total experience, isn't it? And wine is part of the unlocking process of that, isn't it? The meal, the setting, the friends, the memory that's created. And we've done that tonight. We've absolutely done that tonight. Your generosity, your effort in bringing Sophia onto the screen. We saw the film. We hung out with her. She's talking about all these legends in art and in cookery. It's been such a beautiful experience. And I am a bit of a tart with my ratings because I think if the producer sees me giving them a 5 out of 5, they're going to invite me to the place and I'm going to stay there for the weekend and all the rest of it. So I do hope that's going to happen, obviously, with this one. But I'm going to go for a 4.9 because we've got that little space, haven't we? I was just going to say at the beginning 5 definitely, but there's that little bit of space for the one that comes in and just bowls us over completely. But I couldn't be more delighted. I couldn't feel more mellow, and I've created a better experience and hanging out with you guys and just this is a memorable evening, memorable wine, the whole thing, the whole depth, dimension, complexity, and everything. So thank you. 4.9 from me. For you, Penny.
And just an update: the third glass for Linda has now gone in. So that's
there we go.
I was thinking about that's the real rate.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Penny?
I was thinking about 2, but maybe not.
2 out of 5.
As you know, as a lady reaches a certain age, sometimes red wine is not always very kind to her. Particularly very strong red wines, but this is a very mellow red wine. I really like this one. I know I've got a slightly different one from you, but just the very fact that Tracy Emin drew my bloody label in itself.
Oh yes,
is like, wow. So I think I might join you up there on 4.9, Carl. Actually, I know it's a bit cheeky. It's my week, but.
You got to be honest, man. You got to be honest.
Isn't it? Marketing yourself.
Maybe Sophia is
the lowest. But if I was sat with you guys out in a prasa, tucking into a beautiful piece of porco pretto and all the salads and stuff that goes with it, and I was pouring this exact wine, it'd probably be a 4.9 as well. But we need the ambience, don't we?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And we'll do that, Doug, because the time some of us have met together, that was another really memorable and amazing evening in Coimbra. Where, we had great wines and we had a great guide, and the experience was amazing. We were in the lanes of Coimbra. There was a choir rehearsing above us. We met each other some of us for the first time. And it's about the whole experience, isn't it? And that was another legendary evening. So we'll do that again. We will do the thing you're describing there beautifully. But there, Doug, thank you. Nuno Mendes is here. Good evening to you, sir. Great to have made your acquaintance recently, Nuno. And Chin Chin from you. Great to see you here. Eric J, good night. See you in the man cave. Yeah, looking forward to it. We'll have some fun tomorrow night. Paul Williams in the Algarve. Ours is very drinkable, but not in the class of yours. 4.4 from me. That's not so shabby there, Paul. Hope you've had a beautiful evening in the Algarve there with your lovely weather today. Tina, enigmatically, just sending a couple of glasses of red there. We're going to take that as a good sign. And just to add, as we sign out here, these are the pictures of the hotel, I think. Check availability. We can't do that at the moment, can we? But there's the hotel that we're looking at there. This is where we might end up going one day. Look at that for a view. That's right, isn't it?
And the restaurant is called. The restaurant is called Tim's Terrace because her dad Tim has sadly passed away in the last year or two, I believe.
And it's
So
named
the
after him.
restaurant's
In
named
his...
after her dad, Tim.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, I mean, they must be like guru legends, mustn't they? That family, amazing family story to tell there. Great evening, Penny. Thank you so much.
Thank
you, Penny.
Lovely, Penny. Nice one.
Yeah, we'll say good night to everybody now. I want to press the horn. I want to give you a blast of the old man cave horn for your efforts tonight, but it's a bit inappropriate. But you get where I'm coming from with that. And I say thank you and good evening to everyone who's tuned in tonight. All our lovely friends who tune in with us and have a glass of their own choosing wherever they are in the world. Only messing with you with the veggie business, but come on, Seitan, honestly. You know, the clue is in the name there, isn't it? Seitan, I think. But thank you, Andy, for tracking down the 1180. I can't find it now, but anyway, 1180 bargain that this wine we tracked down online. Take care, all of you, and we'll see you next Thursday, or we'll see you in a man cave tomorrow night, or in some other lovely place where we meet online in these crazy times. Ciao, ciao, bye for now. Love you.
Ciao.
See ya.